to Nigerians?
A tremendous value. I was there in the first one. It was so well attended, you know. All the cream de la cream in Nigeria were there. And I think this time around, they're also trying to take it a step further, you know, bring in a lot more content and intellectualism into it. So it's fantastic.
Okay, so you're going to be on the panel today, right?
Yeah, hopefully at some point.
What are you expecting at the end of today when it comes to influencing people and young people as to the 2019 general elections?
I expect the thinking of the young people of this country, those who are present and those who are listening either by social media or TV and so on. I expect their thinking to be elevated after today. I expect them to get a lot more information about what they should be looking forward to in 2019. I expect them to also get more involved as a result of this symposium today. So it's going to be a great one.
Thank you very much, sir.
Be here. Thank you, Osasu and your crew. And let me stand on all protocols, you know, duly observed. So I'm trying to, I'm actually a nation builder, and we are stepping up at this point in time for 2 or 3 reasons. The first is that Nigeria is a country of great potential and abundance, and that's why we named our party Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party. However, paradoxically, a country that's plowing the depths of infamy as at now, being not only the country with the highest number of poor people, but also the highest number of out-of-school children, the highest number of women, maternal death at childbirth, the highest number of child, you know, infant mortality as well. And equally, the most unequal country in the world, according to Oxfam and several other reports. And this is not supposed to be the case. So we're here to say, and I'll echo my big auntie Obi, this is a rescue mission. And the fact that so many of us are involved in this quest this time around also means that this is a cry for help for Nigeria. I'm here because I think I'm pretty much the most qualified person. I've done a lot more work in researching Nigeria than most people in the fray. I've written about 3,000 articles or more about the subject of Nigeria, 6 books out, and also engaging across the spectrum. So for this reason, I'm stepping forward to say, yes, we can do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, we can pause. Mr. Festus.
For the question, I'll take education, for example, and the fact that thank you. And the fact that, of course, we know what our challenge with education is. University of Ibadan was started 70 years ago. But we're still a country where we can't make a light bulb. We can't actually make one with our own technology. And the product of our education, we know what the problem is. That translates into unemployment, because somehow we say they are unemployable. Why are they unemployable? So my plan for education, at the universal basic level, we have a lot of frauds going on there, and 13.2 million to 15 million children are out of school. The constitution of the country provides that any parent that has a child and allows those children to roam around should be prosecuted. However, for some reason, we see a scenario where they don't like to utilize that constitution. And what we need to do is to make a few examples. No religion and no culture justifies you having a child and allowing them to roam around. 13.2 million children on the street for a country is 2 lifetimes mortgaged, right? Because those 13.2 million children are going to be having 132 million children of their own very soon. So we need to stand firm on that. At the tertiary level, my plan is a bit unique, and you won't hear this anywhere else. Every student in university, at least from year 2, should be useful to this society in terms of infrastructural development. If you are in civil engineering department, in a polytechnic or a university, you should be getting involved in infrastructural building and maintenance, starting from within your university. I've seen vice chancellors complain about how they need money to build roads within the university, and you have a department of civil engineering. All you have to do is to pay them. We want a scenario where people will go to university and earn money. If you're earning 50,000 every semester, it'll be a joy. And the youth of this country have been waiting to contribute to the development of this country. The biggest disservice that has been done to the youth of this country is not because they didn't allow them to join politics. It's a bit wrong-headed. The issue is not politics. The issue is about being useful to society. So when you are in electrical engineering, you should be sent as part of your project, as part of your semester work, to go to the nearest village and power them up using solar, using windmill, using whatever kind of thing you can find. And even students of history, there's no course that is useless. Students of history, we are complaining that our languages are disappearing, our culture is disappearing, because we're not documenting them. Send them to those villages. Let them go and document the culture. If you're in history, sociology, anthropology, that's your work. If you're in IT, you should be creating a Google of Nigerian information. With this information that you're getting, putting it on the internet, and also creating a Google of Nigerian information. And beginning to think about it, you'll see that no course is useless. I'll take that. And then I'll take the problem of the economy. We are an economy, a toddler economy. You see that toddlers grow faster than adults. This economy hasn't started. We don't even have one. And we're growing at 1.5%. And we're justifying this. And the government of the day is actually reducing the budget for next year. And I'm wondering, why are you're just getting out of recession? You're also creating policies that will take you back into recession. How can you be reducing government expenditure in such a precarious moment? All right, we're 9.1 trillion budget this year. We say we want to budget 8.6 trillion next year. And I'm asking them, listen, this country, our population is growing at 3.2%. 6 million mouths are added to the responsibility of government every year. And inflation is 11.28%, meaning that the value of money is going down. That 8.6 trillion is equivalent to 7.5 trillion. And I'm asking why. So this economy must start. And in order to start the economy, we need to look in terms of agriculture. These are things that we need to do ourselves. And in terms of agriculture, the product of research and development must make it to the farm. We need to look at tidying up our environment. Environment is vast. Environment is the only place you can employ 2 million people in this country today, youth. We need to look at clothing ourselves. The textile sector must be turned around. We need to look at housing ourselves. No provision has been made for people in the rural areas in terms of housing since the independence of this country. When we say we want to do low-cost housing, we go and build houses for workers. But the villagers are also Nigerians. So by the time we are able to lock down on all of these factors, the economy will boom. This economy needs to be growing at double digits, 15% at the minimum. We should be able to double this economy, the size of this economy, in a matter of 4 or 5 years. And that's doable. We should also be thinking of taking 50 million people out of poverty, and it is doable as well. India is doing it right now, taking 300 million people out of poverty. China did it before, and China is actually eradicating poverty by next year. I say Nigeria is next. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And for transparency, I'm allowing the candidates and representatives to please keep their mind.
It was George Bernard Shaw that said, some people think about the things that exist and ask why. I think about things that don't exist and I ask why not. On that basis, I'll take on my Auntie Obi. I don't come here to sell Kool-Aid. If we say that we can grow this economy at 15%, it's because we believe that every Nigerian can be 15% more productive. Everybody here, including the students, can be 15% more productive. And I'll hark back to what you said about job creation. We spent so much time talking about SMEs and so on. You also mentioned the issue of training by the private sector. We need to begin to train our children right from when they're in higher institutions. By the kind of proposal that I gave earlier on, whereby students in university and polytechnic will become useful, by the time they are coming out of university or polytechnic, they already have something on their CV. You cannot tell them, come and get 5 years experience. He's going to be telling you, we joined and built this road. We joined and powered this village. And that's the kind of thing we're looking at. So 15% growth is possible in this country. I went and did the research. In the 60s and 70s, the United States economy was growing at 15, 16, 18%. The United Kingdom economy in the 70s was growing at 10%, 8%. As we speak now, India is growing at 8.5%. 1.3 billion people, a $1 trillion, $2 trillion economy growing at 8.5, and here we are. We've sunk into mediocrity. And I must say, what we actually want is what this country needs right now, what we actually need is a revolution. But because we are not violent people, we are making it a revolution of ideas. And that's actually my rider in my campaign, a revolution of ideas. We're going to torpedo you guys, okay, the status quo and the status quo ante, of which I'm sorry my sister belongs to. She was a minister in also an underperforming government as well. And we are saying that we can do a lot better, than we're doing right now. This economy is a toddler economy, hasn't started to grow. If the US can grow at 15% in their own time, we can do it as well. And I'm going to tell you how. And again, people who matter. Someone said something about all of us here matter. You matter. So don't ask the question, those who matter are not here. Who are they that matter? Igboman si Omadu Kabu. They are human beings as well. So nothing stops them. If they don't come here, we are going to take over this country from them. And that's why we are here. And I saw the way you guys were clapping for Dino. Dino is popular, but if he was not popular, he should be running for president today. But on tax reform, we have the solution in this country. I'm an accountant. This country is deliberately suboptimizing its taxes. One house. This country deliberately suboptimizes its taxation. The FRS last year made 4.3 trillion. The best year for FRS so far was 2013, under the Jonathan government that we criticized a lot. They made 5.007 trillion. But these guys came, and what they did, they have devalued the currency by more than half, and are still making 4.3 trillion. Meaning that this country is sinking. This economy is dying. We can get a lot of taxes by capital gains taxes. We can get a lot more through excise duties. And the key way, I've done business abroad, in the UK, in the UAE, more than, I'm sorry to say, Mr. Showumi's principal, who is a local champion in Nigeria here, you know, the way they take company income taxes abroad, okay, is that they tie their company house to their tax collector. In the UK, you go and get your company house returns every year before you can operate an account as a company. And the company house is going to ask you, where is your tax certificate? In the UAE, if you don't get that thing done and they now collect their VAT, they close your account and send your money to sundry. If these people wanted to collect the taxes they will, we can double and triple our tax collection in this country, even with the extant laws that we have, if only they were serious. Join your CAC with your FRS and put the onus on the bank that anybody that doesn't bring their CAC returns every year, which we pay 3,000 naira for only, you close their account. If they don't close their account, you slum them a fee. And you can go and find out and see the kind of fees that some banks abroad have paid. And in terms of public service reform, this is one of our core areas. I'm sorry to say, I was actually on the panel that reviewed the Oronsai report about a year ago. The report is not perfect. The report came in from an uber capitalist perspective. Close all of the ministries. Sack them all. Let me put one thing to you today. This country does not even have a civil service. We don't understand the concept of civil service. That the concept of civil service is about the provision of public goods to your people. Someone said the other day, the city of London has 14 teaching hospitals. The city of Lagos has 2 teaching hospitals. City of Lagos, 20 million people. London, 8 million people. Meanwhile, our big men, including the president, will run to London to go and treat himself. With the money they're supposed to use to develop this economy and to develop our hospitals as well. That is where the problem is. There's opportunity for employment in the public service. The president of South Korea, the current one, he came in on the basis of public sector jobs. Because they found out that in South Korea, the youth were doing even facial surgery and all of that in order to look fine on their CV. And it was becoming dangerous. If you remember your village and you cannot see government in your village, there's work. We should go to every village in this country and find roads being made and find a small hospital or health center. We should see schools. We should have teachers. We need teachers. There's a rhetoric about entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to make $1 billion. This has become a country of hustlers. Everybody is shoving something in your face to buy because we have left them on their own device. This country did not actually start in building a civil service that will provide public goods for our people. Our total employment in the public service is 3% of our workforce. If you went to the same UK that I mentioned, it's 20%. In the US, it is 17%. The biggest employer in the US is the Department of Defense. In the UK is the National Health Service. Why are we doing this to ourselves? And then we're creating hustlers from our children. There's nothing wrong if someone holds a job and you keep a job down. One of the things that must be done beyond the economy in this country is to actually begin to disabuse our mind from this get rich or die trying kind of economy that we have created. There's nothing wrong if you hold a job in government and provide service for your people. It's the greatest joy in the world. We need more teachers. We need more people to work in the hospitals. We need to see presence of government in our forgotten, all of those forgotten villages that we have forgotten in a warp of time. So I'm going to say that. And so I was on the Orosai a committee that reviewed it for the BPSR. I know what the issues are there. One of the things I'll say on our end, the Orosai report, the number of staff in Nigeria Bureau for Statistics is 2,100. The Orosai report says reduce the staff by 1,000. When we were reviewing it for government, I said, no, why are you having to reduce the staff of MBS? Under what basis? There are almost 10,000 wards in this country, 774 local government. Are you saying that we cannot have staff of the Bureau for Statistics in all of those places collecting primary data? And how do you grow your country when you can't even get an accurate information about data in your country? In the United Kingdom, their Department for Statistics has about 4,000 staff. And that is a country that understands the power of data. You don't even have to beg the citizen to give you what you want. In this country, nothing is wrong if you have 5, 6, 7,000 staff collecting data, raw data, in all of these locations. But we don't care, so we cook up the figures. Our GDP is cooked up, our population is cooked up, and that's why we find ourselves where we are. So thank you very much. You vote for me. ANRP is the party. We are the computer party. Computer is our logo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We love the spirit of nature. Can we go to the next? But I have one issue. How will you be able to interpret your policies and building new policies to layman in the villages? You know, like for me, I understand your policies and I've heard that, but how will you be able to relate it to them so they'll be able to vote for you? Thank you.
So many conferences in earlier days. Fortunately, no action plan on those resolutions from those conferences and seminars. I see that we have been having such seminars recently from various organizations. Unfortunately, the people who really matter in the discussion for moving Nigeria forward, we don't find them in conferences like this. And just like it is now, we have just the representative of the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, and that of the APC is not even here. Now, the issue is that how do we aggregate? Because I believe all of us seated here in this hall as Nigerians, we all have our individual dreams for Nigeria. How do we aggregate our dreams for the Nigeria? I mean, the dreams we have for Nigeria, how do we aggregate those dreams as a national development plan for this country?
What is your idea for Tope? Thank you. I'm a Nigerian, how do you know? Okay, very good. Now, I see you as young men and women. Very young men and women. I remember when I was your age. At your age, and I was telling you.
This one, the troublemaker.
At your age, I was 32 or 34 when I became the Speaker of Parliament. And you should be a speaker, you know. And I was 42 when I became the governor. So when they say it's not too young to run, is this our government that signed it? So it's not possible for you to run. It's my government. Now, the lot of ministers, you must listen well and listen carefully to those who spoke. You didn't listen well. If you did, you have asked the question and I've had to answer as a woman. The first question is that they privatize. To who? To who? Ask it. Who is they privatize to? Who's Nigeria? Themselves. And they are coming back. Oh, no. Then I will not know. Now, Question number 2. Question number 2. Let me thank the SDP woman. To Osaka, she said Baba has been good. Under them, $16 million. We had 3,000 megawatts of power. Now we have 7,000. No problem. No problem. Whether it's a little bit, hold on. Whether it's a little bit or not, it has improved. Finally, on the way, we all go to Nigeria.
It's going to be a summary of some of the things I've said today. Adeji, you have a stake. If you've been in politics for 32 elections, you're part of the problem. You can't come here and write us down. And whether we have people in polling booths or not, it's our problem, not yours. So the fact that we're stepping out now is because we're standing up to say we got ideas. I personally, I'm not very particular about sitting in some Aso villa, but my ideas must win. And this country must move forward. And so if your brother steps up to do something, support him, mate. Then I'd say that the World Bank president did say in their last meeting in Bali that they made a mistake advising African countries to focus on infrastructure, that they should have told African countries to now focus on human capital. And that's one of the problems we have with the World Bank rhetoric that has governed the economy of this country and run us aground to this point. I would say the World Bank people and co should give us some time. We've got patriotic economists in this country. And I happen to be one of the few, if not the only economist running for president. And then also, we have to repositioning our public service is key. Again, I will repeat, we have not started taking care of our people. We must take care of our people. That is what human capital investment is all about. All right? And so the public service is so central. We have for too long poo-pooed the public service. We believe that the dullest people should work there. We believe that they are all thieves. But until we understand, until we reposition the public service, we're not going anywhere. Enough of the entrepreneurship rhetoric. All of us cannot be sellers of things that we don't produce. And also, I need to let you understand and reiterate this. The students and the youth of this country are so key to the development of this country. Remember what I said. You are not going to hear it from anywhere else. Our students in university and polytechnics and the colleges should immediately begin to impact on society. We don't wait until they come out of school, and they should be earning while in school on projects. In fact, we should be able to turn around the educational system such that projects and dissertations are group work. We've seen where they dump some of our projects, they dump them in the dustbin. Nobody uses the best ideas. This is a country that hopes to import its own development. You cannot import your development. I understand the Chinese man drives the train between Kaduna and Abuja. Where is the minister? I heard that the Chinese man drives the train between Kaduna and Abuja because we don't even have drivers for train. So, and last, let me just quickly say this. Economy can grow 15%, no doubt about it. Environment, the man that spoke on environment, fantastic. Environment is the, look, in the north of Nigeria, we can plant 50 million trees. Even the erosion that we have in the southeast, and all over Nigeria is an environmental disaster. 1 million people are still in IDPs as a result of environmental displacement. Security is all about job creation for the youth. Sports is key, but we have to move beyond football. I actually jog in that national stadium sometimes, and it's decrepit. We spent 73 billion on it in 2003. That's an equivalent of about 350 billion naira today, and we don't even have programs for it. And the place is so basically that's it. Let's vote for me, COP2019. We, the youth, can do it. This is our time, and let's get it done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ali.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, wow, how you doing?
I will call you now. If you
down.
pick, I will
Why
call you.
not? Why not? Same number.
Do you know about? Make us see whether it's in the year. Okay. Lady, how are you doing? Madam,